All right, let's dive straight into this explainer. We're looking at how a legacy, 65-year-old Indian shipbuilder absolutely transformed into a modern, record-breaking powerhouse in the FY25 financial year. We're talking about GRSE, or Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers. Now, they already hold the very proud distinction of being the first shipyard in India to ever build a warship for the Navy. But as we're going to see, they definitely aren't just coasting on their history. They are aggressively rewriting their future.
We're kind of anchoring today's explainer on this quote right here, originally from Dr. APG Abdul Kalam. It was heavily featured in the chairman and managing director's message this year, and it really sets the tone for what they've pulled off. FY25 had its fair share of macroeconomic pressures and global unpredictability. But despite all of that, Team GRSE didn't just weather the storm. They dreamed big, and they delivered what they're calling a year of truly historic milestones.
To make this dense annual report super easy to digest, we've split it into 4 main pillars. 1. A record-breaking year. 2. The shipbuilding powerhouse. 3. Diversifying beyond new ships. And 4. Culture, innovation, and vision. So, jumping right into Section 1, a record-breaking year. Let's look at the absolute financial earthquake GRSE created this year. For the literal first time in its history, this company completely shattered the 5,000 crore revenue ceiling. To be exact, they pulled in 5,075 crore rupees from operations. To put that into perspective, guys, that is a massive 41% jump over the previous year. And the market noticed, too, with their market cap soaring way past the 33,000 crore mark.
And you can really see that explosive growth breaking down here. Profit after tax, up 48% to 527 crore. But you've got to look at that operational profit metric. 103% surge. They went from 181 crore to an incredible 368 crore. When operational profit doubles like that, it's a dead giveaway that a company isn't just selling more stuff. They're executing their projects with serious, dialed-in efficiency.
Yeah, numbers like that don't just happen by accident. Leadership points to meticulous planning, incredibly effective procurement, and a laser focus on operational efficiency. And it paid off big time, actually earning them the highly prestigious Schedule A status from the government. That's a huge deal. It gives them way more financial autonomy and really cements their spot as a leading strategic national asset.
Moving on to Section 2, the shipbuilding powerhouse. This is where the heavy lifting happens, literally. Just take a second to appreciate the legacy here. GRSE has delivered over 100 state-of-the-art warships. They're an absolute cornerstone of India's maritime defense capability. And remember, they're building highly complex, technologically dense vessels that have to meet the absolute strictest international defense standards.
We can actually break their massive catalog into 3 main operational pillars. You've got offense, think multi-role frigates and seriously potent missile corvettes. Then logistics, manufacturing landing ships for amphibious ops and the fleet tankers that literally keep the Navy fueled out at sea. And lastly, research and patrol, crafting advanced survey vessels for ocean mapping and fast patrol boats. It's just a remarkably versatile portfolio.
Now, with 40 vessels currently under construction, they obviously had to scale up physically. And they did. They bumped their concurrent shipbuilding capacity from 20 all the way up to 28 ships. They modernized their facilities, decking them out with massive solar arrays for sustainability. And they secured some crucial long-term leases for extra dry docks.
So they're expanding their footprint, but they're also hitting massive delivery milestones. In FY25, they delivered the INS Nirdeshak and their very first P-17A stealth frigate. They also won the bid for the Navy's new generation Corvette project. But honestly, the real shocker was securing a $108 million commercial order from a German client for 8 multi-purpose vessels. An Indian defense shipbuilder grabbing a huge European commercial contract? That is a massive global pivot.
Okay, on to Section 3, diversifying beyond new ships. Let's look at ship repair and engineering, because they are aggressively moving into some highly profitable adjacent markets. Check out their ship repair division. This unit only really kicked off as an independent operation back in FY22, making about 19 crore. Fast forward just 3 years to FY25, we're looking at an absolute multi-fold surge, pulling in nearly 114 crore. That is a wild growth trajectory for such a new vertical.
And this boom didn't just appear out of nowhere. It was fueled by some really sharp strategic foresight. Leasing 3 dry docks from the local port was a total game changer. It let them grab high-value refits for the Indian Navy. But beyond that, they are maintaining fleets all across the Indian Ocean region, servicing vessels from Mauritius, Seychelles, the Maldives, and Sri Lanka.
They're basically becoming the go-to maintenance partner for the whole region. Also, we absolutely can't ignore their engineering division. Now, building bridges might sound kinda totally unrelated to warships, but it all comes down to heavy steel fabrication. GRSE actually dominates the Indian market for portable Bailey bridges. In FY25 alone, they pumped out 102 of these bridges for the Army and Border Roads Organization to use in super remote, rugged terrains. It's a critical national service, and it adds over 149 crore to their production value.
Bringing us to Section 4, Culture, Innovation, and Vision. Let's zoom out and look at what's propelling this massive momentum forward.
You see, they're investing heavily in tomorrow's tech. It's pretty surprising for a 65-year-old legacy steel giant, right? But they aren't just bending metal anymore. They're writing code. They wrapped up 6 artificial intelligence projects this year. They've upgraded their autonomous surface and underwater platforms, Swadine and Nirashiki V2. Plus, they launched Gains 24, this really cool initiative to fund startup innovation in robotics and AI, right inside their own ecosystem.
But all these crazy tech leaps, they're totally grounded in these 6 core values. What really stands out here is their focus on generosity and employee concern. They actively ensure success is shared across the board through structured rewards. They're pouring resources into employee upskilling, health, and bringing way more women into technical roles. It is a genuine, people-first approach.
So all of this, the record revenues, the European contracts, the AI investments, the cultural focus, it all points to one extremely ambitious target. By 2035, GRSE wants to achieve the coveted Maharatna status. That's the absolute ultimate recognition for a state-owned enterprise in India. It basically cements them not just as a national leader, but as an elite, globally competitive titan of industry.
As we wrap up this explainer on GRSE's phenomenal year, I want to leave you with this to chew on. When legacy shipbuilders like this start integrating AI, building autonomous fleets, and snapping up global commercial contracts, how does that surge in local industrial strength reshape the safety, logistics, and economics of the broader world? When a national yard goes global, the ripples are felt on every single shore. Think about that.